Okay, what up ladies and gents? It's your favorite Asian robot, hopefully your favorite DarkTide partner, and today what I'm going to do in this video is talk to you guys about the gun Psyker. Specifically, I'm going to be showing you the playstyle of the Shredder Autopistol gun Psyker. This may not cover other styles of gun Psyker, such as 12 tables melee gun Psyker, which, sorry bro, I can't do that. I'm just not a melee Psyker. But the Shredder Autopistol Psyker, after thorough testing live on stream yesterday, I did find that it was actually viable, even in the toughest conditions in Damnation. However, it does require a specific method of play, and also I had to take on some modifications to the planned build that I had, and big thanks to Poto for giving me some advice on that as well, live on stream. Let me get into the feats right now so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. For the gun Psyker, all right, I'm going to go through each column of feats and try to explain my choices for these matters, all right? For the first column, I chose Essence Harvest because you have no other way of regenerating toughness effectively, okay? You don't regularly generate enough peril, except via your brain burst, so Quietude is not the method to go with. Essence Harvest is probably the best choice. For the second column, all right, I experimented with Rack and Ruin, as some of the other gun Psykers have used this talent, or rather have used this feat. I find it subpar now. It does not perform as well as Warp Unleashed, because even with the increased quell speed, and I was originally fooled because the increase in quell speed meant that I couldn't really keep up the peril at high levels, but what I learned to do is that when I'm chopping away at hordes, I just occasionally charge my Illici Force Sword and, you know, swing and we're good to go again, because that'll help me maintain the high peril at the, to increase damage for sword hits. Also, when it comes to the gun strikes, if I am pulling the gun out right after brain bursting, it makes more sense to have Warp Unleashed to get a bonus on several of the initial shots. Not only does it save you ammo, all right, not only does it save you ammo, it helps you dish out more damage and gives you a faster TDK against mutants, several other creatures that may come rushing in while you're busy brain bursting, things like that. Yeah, it's helpful. Okay, for column 3, I tried all of them, and to be fair, keeping up your warp charges as a gun Psyker can be the most difficult thing. So I went with Psychic Communion. If you want to use Cerebral Lacerations because you feel that you might help more against bosses, do so. But I personally noticed that if I'm playing as the gun Psyker, well, keeping up my warp charges is far more important than to make boss killing faster. So unfortunately, for this particular build, I do not recommend Cerebral Lacerations, despite how useful it is. For me, this is a so-called stumbling block for the gun Psyker as well. I feel that it is not as good as it should be because of this. All right. However, it is still effective in Damnation. That has been tested and proven on stream. So I cannot say it doesn't work. So even without Cerebral Lacerations, I find myself performing well enough in Damnation. However, I prefer my staff builds because of their ability to use Cerebral Lacerations. For column 4, you will go with Kinetic Deflection because, again, you don't really benefit as much from Kinetic Shield. All right. However, for me personally, it's a bit of a toss-up between the two. I seem to perform relatively well with both. And it's not like I spend a lot of my time blocking gunfire as well. I tried not to do that because I'm not exactly helping my team just by sitting there and blocking gunfire. All right, because I'm still waiting for somebody else to finish off the target. So it's not ideal, but I mean, this one I give you freedom of choice. I did my testing with Kinetic Deflection, but if you feel like you can keep up some peril, Kinetic Shield might work just fine. Okay, for column 5, I've tried them all, and Kinetic Flare is the best choice. Why? Keeping up your warp charges is difficult. And what you want is the ability to restore your warp charges ASAP. So Kinetic Flare was my choice there. Last but not least, Ascendant Blaze. Ascendant Blaze is used together with the Shredder Autopistol as a bit of a gimmick, but for those who have seen my testing on stream, and I'll do a little bit of that right here, right now. Okay, in case you didn't know, you can effectively double the damage of Ascendant Blaze because now Warp Unleashed doesn't affect Soul Blaze ticks, but if you pull out your gun and then use Ascendant Blaze, notice that I have 5 pinning fire charges that just immediately went up there. So your Ascendant Blaze benefits immediately from the pinning fire stacks, and you basically get to wipe out your opponents real quick. All right, you get max pinning fire stacks immediately. All right. Alternatively, if you've been firing for quite some time, okay, if you've been firing for quite some time and you have all the stacks you need, okay, let me show you again. Let's get 4 stacks going. All right. Let's say I stack up my 5 pinning fire and I unleash the Soul Blaze after that. The Ascendant Blaze does insane damage and, you know, burns out most of your opponents. So it benefits from the from the pinning fire stacks. So even in Damnation, you can burn hordes like no tomorrow. This is extremely important, and it's very helpful. So that is why Ascendant Blaze is used with this build. It's a bit of a gimmick, but it works well, especially with the Shredder Autopistol. All right, so that is my loadout for the Shredder Autopistol Gun Psyker. Now, moving on to the weapons, blessings, feat selection, all this kind of stuff. Illicy Mark V. Okay, warp resistance and mobility are your technical dump stats, but I have a near god roll on this one. I have both Slaughterer and Executor with flak armor and maniac damage to help with mutants, things like that. For the important stats for the Blaze Force Sword, what you're going to want is damage and finesse. Finesse must be above 74, okay? People can argue till the cows come home about this. I'm just going to tell you 74 is, well, sorry, 70% is my limit. But I prefer anything above 74. Mobility is a bit of a dump stat. First target is your dump stat. Damage is a must-have. So damage and finesse are your key stats, all right? Both of these, as close to 80 as possible. Because you're using a cleaving sword, right? First target is not so important, but it can help you when you're swinging heavy against mutants or a specialist or something like that. First target helps there. So that one takes 3rd priority. Mobility and warp resistance take the lowest priorities, all right? And warp resistance being the dump stat. Okay, for your Shredder Autopistol, I'm going to keep it real simple on this one, okay? What you're going to want is damage, ammo, and collateral. Why? Let me explain. Okay, collateral basically increases the weapon's stagger, impact, and suppression. You need this for pinning fire, okay? Damage is obviously necessary, as high as possible. Ammo, please, as high as possible, so that, you know, you have a large reserve to draw on. Mobility is a bit of a dumb stat because you really should not be dodging with this out. Your Force Sword has unlimited dodges. Use and abuse that, all right? And stopping power just helps your impact and stagger a bit more. So this one I use as a dump stat, all right? But you already get quite a bit of damage versus like the impact damage on maniacs and stuff. You get it all while you're near anyway. So like I said, this is more beneficial if you're trying to snipe, but you're not with this, so don't worry about this too much. Stopping power, a bit of a dump stat. So is mobility. These other 3 are very important. Okay, please get them as high as possible. Blessings. You must have pinning fire. Pinning fire is absolutely necessary. Blaze away is not as necessary. You can even replace this with cavalcade, as some people have done, and you will do just fine. But Pinning Fire is a must-have. As high tier as possible. Tier 3 and above is the key. All right? Actually, I'm not even sure if there's a tier 2. I think I did see it, but not sure, so I'm not going to comment. But tier 3 absolutely is the minimum. Okay? Blaze Away if you can get it. If not, well, replace it with whatever else you want, but Blaze Away would be the ideal. Pinning Fire, must-have. Okay? In terms of perks, I always choose Maniac Damage because this is my anti-special. This is what I use against mutants, specials, ragers, the works. And you're not going to be using this on Ogrins. That's what your Brain Burst is for. So at most, if you really want to, you can also put Flak Armor on it. It's genuinely your choice. I just happened to roll Critical Strike Chance when I got this one, so I was like, you know what, I'll just keep that. All right. So that is about it for me on the Shredder Autopistol. And that is it for the weapons. Now, Curio-wise, and I'm sorry that this build is going longer, it's going to take more explanation because I just want you guys to be sure of what I'm doing. For Curios, same as all other builds. 3 max stamina with toughness regeneration, damage resistance gunners. I've got +1 wound with toughness regeneration, damage resistance gunners, and max health with toughness regeneration, damage resistance gunners. All right. These are the 3 standard Curios that I use across the board. Now, you guys understand what to do with the Ascendant Blaze. I'm going to show you guys the demo, the gameplay demos. So like I said, this is going to be a bit of a longer video, but hopefully it helps to show you guys exactly what I did with this live on stream. If you guys missed the stream, you know, don't worry, there'll be more chances of watching me play a gun psyker, even if I don't enjoy it. I will do so again in the near future. So look forward to that. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Before we go to the gameplay demo, I always ask people to do this. Get this video to 100 likes if you enjoy my content, you want to see more from me. Like I said, I hope you guys will enjoy this as much as I have because honestly, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. All right. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. All right. And if you guys want to support me further, you can always donate, become channel members. Up to you if you want to do that. Your choice. But I'm going to quickly thank our top channel members before we go on to the gameplay section. All right, so here we go. These are our top channel members right now. Starting right at the top, Death Donnie 982 at Plus Ultra, Jerry Fast, Rogue Assassin, Omis Screen Buff, Zach MG, all prestige. Thank you guys so much. Honored Robots, Bob John, Jammer Boy, Joey Danze, Underpaid Enlisted Soldier, Ripley, The Mighty Zeno, Triple D, Darverse, Cordova, Che D12, I'm Peeps, Syed Assad, Pringle Bread, Tuan Nguyen, Valaris, Coda CMF, Kami SMH, Conrad C, Nate the Great, Corey Ryu, Benjamin Savage, Lady Neo, and Greasy Burger. Thank you guys so much. I will see you all on the next video. Thank you to all my cool and weird bots as well. Catch you on DarkTide. You have some range, but basically you're in my honest opinion, you're no different from a perk psyker. In terms of your horde clear. But you will have way better special killing power. Thank you for subscribing, Kyle. Huh. And yeah, Lady Neo, I just saw your message. Yes, we have 3 Kais now. Oh, for fuck's sake. 2 of them, really? Oops. Okay. I'm happy for you chunkster players. Betrayer! Lol. That was funny. That amused me greatly.
Initiating crowd control! Rectifying! Keep down!
Glad to hear it.
Acceptable performance registered and recorded. Extract.
If we don't move out, we're going to cook!
Hey, nothing wrong with not playing the gold standard. I mean, hey. Gun Psyker ain't exactly the gold standard, but it's working well. ultimately depends on your skill. Like, I personally wouldn't choose it, but it is working. Stab with the Ripper knife. That sounds epic.